have known each other since we were at university, which is in the last century, about 30 years ago, and we met at Freshers Week on our course.
The book's always been about two very ordinary mothers facing either the fear of loss or the loss of their teenage sons, and the complex emotions that stirs up around guilt, feeling very isolated, people not knowing how to help, and hopefully we've shed a little bit of light on those things.
The whole book was really hard for me to write because it was like ripping off plasters and sort of finding the wounds underneath, and so it was a really difficult process, but I also found it very useful because it made me realise how much I now know that I didn't know when I was actually living through it with Dom.
It's been very interesting because writing the book has taken us in some ways back to when we were students again. So back in the 1980s, we lived together for 2 of our 4 years at university, and we knew absolutely everything about each other's lives. And weirdly, this period of time, we've had to really trust each other with our, deepest, darkest thoughts, some, plenty of things that don't show us in a good light at all. And we had to really trust each other with our stories between us before we were confident enough that we could put them out into the world.
I think if somebody was in a circumstance like I was in, where you have a child who is in a suicidal crisis, the most important advice I would give to anybody would be to say, ask directly about suicide. Don't hide from it. It's a really frightening thought that that's what's happening to your child, and there's tons of taboos in society around it. It's not very well understood, but there is loads of help out there, and there is expertise out there which can help you navigate that whole situation as a parent. And there's loads that I wish I'd known. I know I did my best, but if I was talking to somebody else, I'd say go and ask for help about suicide. You can't make somebody suicidal, but you can learn about how to help them through a crisis.
I've become much better at appreciating the little things, and it sounds like such a cliche, but honestly, when I see my son wakeboarding, as he was on holiday last year, I just love the vitality of him, the fact that he has the energy to do that when at one point he couldn't even unscrew the top off a bottle of water. And even, obviously in lockdown, you might have my kids going at each other or us all getting a bit snappy. But, okay, I don't want to make out with the Waltons, but even when I have those moments, I just appreciate that I'm extremely lucky still to have them. So I do feel I've got a tremendous lot to be grateful for. I still wish it hadn't happened to us, but I feel really grateful that I've almost got a second chance with him, and that's huge.